Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Caitlin and this is episode 2 of our fall inspired dishes. Today I have for you 4 breakfast recipes using Pillsbury dough. These were so easy to put together. 2 of them are savory and 2 of them are pretty sweet. They're more of a specialty breakfast, but they are really good. So come along with me and let's get cooking. For our first sweet breakfast, I am making a pumpkin spice cream cheese filled cinnamon bundt cake thing. This is actually 2 different recipes that I've seen over time, and I'm kind of combining the 2 to kind of make my own. So we are just going to open up our cinnamon rolls and place them onto a parchment paper. Don't be like me and forget that it actually comes with a topping, and I almost spill it, but I didn't, surprisingly. So you're just going to take your cinnamon roll and unwrap it, and then I have 8 ounces of cream cheese. So I'm going to cut my cream cheese into strips and then just place that onto our cinnamon roll. Now, I think I did put a little bit too much, but hey, I'm experimenting and seeing how it turns out for you guys. So once you have your cream cheese on your cinnamon roll, you are just going to wrap that bad boy back up, and then to our Bunt Pan, I've already greased it, but you are just going to place each cinnamon roll back into the Bunt Pan. And at first I tried just doing 1 can of cinnamon rolls and I felt like it needed more, so I went ahead and opened another can. So I'm using 2 cans and like 6 ounces of cream cheese for this. Once you have it all into your Bunt Pan, I'm just going to go over with about 1/4 cup of butter. Just melt enough butter that it covers completely. So once this is done cooking, it's going to be golden brown, and just very carefully flip it over because you do want to spread it out just a little bit. So place it back onto your parchment paper, and look how gorgeous this looks. I just spread over the frosting, just the original frosting. I didn't add anything to it. Just make sure you spread this out completely. And it was just a little doughy, so you can place this back in, which I did just for about 5 minutes or so, but this turned out so good. It is definitely sweet but delicious. We're going to be making biscuits and gravy casserole. To our skillet, we are going to add in 1 pound of breakfast sausage. I'm using the Jimmy Dean hot. You could definitely just use the regular, but y'all know it. I like that spice. So let's just cook this sausage down, and then we will drain it and combine it to our casserole dish. So for our biscuits, I'm using the Grand Buttermilk. This is the 8 big biscuits. Anticipation of the pop always gets me. Okay. Oh, there we go.
Class free.
Just set off my alarm system. Hold on. So cut these into 4s. And then just place them into your baking dish. Now, we have done biscuits like this, but we were making monkey bread the last time. If you haven't seen that recipe, I believe I did that in the Crockpot. I'll leave that one down below. All right, to our casserole dish. I'm gonna spread this out evenly. That way nothing is sitting on top of each other. So for this recipe, it does call for shredded cheese, cheddar cheese, and I realized that I don't have any. I just have the Mexi blend, but I do have this sliced cheese. So I'm just gonna dice this up, and then this will just spread real easily over our biscuits. Once your sausage is finished cooking, we are just gonna drain off the excess grease and pour this right over our biscuits. Followed by our cheddar cheese. You just want to make sure that you get everything spread out evenly. That way one bite doesn't have more than the other. In our bowl, we are going to crack 6 eggs, followed by a 1/2 cup of milk, and just whisk this together until everything is fully combined. For our gravy, I'm just using the Kroger Country Gravy Mix. So to make this, we are just going to dump it into a saucepan, and then combine it with 1 cup of cold milk. Whisk this together until it becomes a low simmer, and then it is going to thicken up over a minute. To our casserole dish, you're going to pour over your egg and milk mixture. I did add a little bit of salt and pepper to mine, and you just want to make sure that this is fully combined with your biscuits. I have never had a breakfast casserole dish with gravy before, but it turned out really good. Each bite had that nice fluffiness of the gravy. You're just going to cook this at 350 for about 40 to 45 minutes. Once it is out, look how pretty this turned out. It was so delicious. I would definitely recommend trying this one, and it was really good leftover too. So I was originally going to make this with chorizo, but the chorizo I bought is kind of cheap and it did not look too well, so I'm just going to go ahead and cook it with bacon. So I had 6 strips extra bacon left over, and I actually prefer to cook my bacon in my Ninja Foodi, but I didn't feel like getting it out tonight, so I'm just going to cook it in the skillet. So just cook it to your likeness. I made mine a little crispy but not too overdone because it is going to cook some more once we put it in the oven. And then into our bowl, we are going to add in the 6 eggs. I just added a little bit of salt and pepper to mine, nothing fancy with the seasonings here. So once you have your eggs cracked, we are just going to whisk this together and then pour it back into our skillet. I didn't wash my skillet in between, but I did make sure to drain out majority of the grease just so it wasn't too greasy on the eggs, but there was no reason to clean a pan. Just dump it in there. It's all going to get cooked together anyway. So just cook your eggs to your liking. I did a little less than I normally do because I actually prefer my eggs burnt. Don't judge me. So once your eggs are done, we are going to move on to our biscuits. These are the flaky Pillsbury biscuits, and I am just going to divide them into 2. And then I'm just going to use a little cup to kind of spread them out. You could definitely just do this with your hands, or if you have a rolling pin, whatever is best for you. So once they are spread out, I'm just going to go in with a layer of cheese. I'm using the Mexi cheese from Kroger, and then our bacon. I just kind of crumbled it up between each biscuit. So on top of your bacon, we are going to add in a little bit of cheese. Obviously, I think I added a little bit too much, but it is totally fine. Just add your other layer of your biscuit on and kind of just smush it down as much as you can. I do go in with the fork to make sure they are completely closed. I did want to do another route because I did end up running out of bacon, and I figured, hey, why not make these into little pastry ball things? The bigger biscuits were just a little too dry, but they were not bad at all. So if you're going to do both of these options, maybe cook one and then cook the other. Probably don't cook them together because the little balls were perfectly cooked. But I did go ahead and coat this with a little bit of butter that I just melted down in the microwave and place this in the oven at 375 for about 10 minutes or so, just until our dough is completely cooked and finished through. And these were so delicious. So this recipe was supposed to be a pumpkin twist. It definitely had a twist. Wait till the end to see how it turned out, but I promise you it worked out even better than expected. So to a bowl, we are going to be adding in a half cup of pumpkin puree to 1/4 cup of brown sugar. Just mix this together until everything is combined, and then add in 1 tablespoon of maple syrup and 1 teaspoon of pumpkin spice. Now I use a pumpkin pie spice. I didn't know if there was a difference, but it still tasted really good. So just fully combine this, and there are going to be chunks of that brown sugar, so just kind of smash those down. We are just going to spread this out on a cutting board. Be very careful that you don't tear anything, and then just divide it right down the middle, almost into like a sandwich. I am going to go through and just kind of pinch those lines that way that they're not open. I thought that it would help. I don't know if it did, but we are just going to spread on our pumpkin puree mix until it is evenly coated on one side. Now I think I did add a little bit too much puree because I had a little bit left over, but it smelled so good. I honestly just wanted to eat it off the spoon, but I didn't know if that was safe or not. So I just went ahead and used up what I had. And then you are going to very carefully add your second layer back onto your puree mix. And then we are just going to be cutting this. Just wait. I didn't cut it right, and so that's my first mistake. So just hold on. I cut it with a pizza cutter down the middle. I think I should have cut it lengthways instead of the direction that I'm cutting it. So into a bowl, we are going to be adding our toppings, which are going to be 1 tablespoon of sugar to a 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon, and then to a parchment lined baking sheet. This is where the issue started even more. Put too much puree in. It did not twist because I cut it wrong. So I said, screw this. I'm going to make mini cinnamon rolls. When in doubt, work it out and do not throw anything away. So I just twisted these up until they were mini cinnamon rolls. And then I just heated up some butter in the microwave, add my butter over my cinnamon rolls, and just coat it with our cinnamon sugar mixture. I cooked this at the original recipe time of 375 for about 9 to 12 minutes. Just keep an eye on it because it can burn very easily. But guys, these were so good. I served mine with a little bit of whipped cream, and honestly, I'm glad that the twist became a better twist because these were so delicious. They are really good for throw and go breakfast. You can just grab one on your way out, put a couple in your kids' lunchbox, and they will definitely thank you for morning breakfast. Hope you guys enjoyed that twist or cinnamon roll, however you want to word it. Try it out. It was so good. But if you need some inspiration for a main course, check out last Wednesday's video of our Crockpot soups. And don't forget, every Wednesday of this month, I will be posting new Crockpot recipes. So hit that subscribe button so you do not miss out on any of them. And I will catch you guys next Wednesday for episode 2 of Crocktober. Bye!